I think he's a disaster for the Democrats, but I still don't want him to win. Victor Davis Hanson, do you? Because I think he'll destroy the city.
No, I don't want him to win at all. When you look at what happened to Cuba, and when you look what happened to Venezuela, or you look at what happened in 1917 to the Russians, there's a pattern there where the Bolshevik element poses as a socialist, and they say they're not going to disrupt, and they're willing to work with people. And then what happens is usually a lot of conservative or aristocrats or what they would call oligarchs make private deals for concessions. That's what Hugo Chavez did, and that's what Maduro's doing. And they try to co-opt the elite, and then basically we will leave you alone as we destroy the city. So they're very insidious. And once they get into power, they do a lot of damage. He's very different even than Bill de Blasio. He'll do a lot more damage in 4 years than de Blasio ever had imagined. And so, I don't like this idea that maybe this is good, so it'll show. I think George Will had advanced that theory. This will be good, so we get to every once in a while we need a dose of socialism to shock us. No, I don't want to be a lab rat in that process. To see this.
I agree with you. Our friend Mark Levin said everyone is underplaying how important New York is as the financial capital of the world, and it's the cultural hub of the United States that it shares with a couple of other places. And I do believe they have 300,000 employees in the city of New York. Mr. Mamdani, Comrade Mamdani, has never run anything bigger than an office of 10 to 12 people. I mean, how badly could it go, PDH?
It could be, I don't think people appreciate that New York historically and geographically is integral to the financial system of the United States. And it's got a long tradition. It's not that far from Washington, D.C. And if you were to socialize it, which he says I think he will, then you're going to see a mass flight. And I'm not so sure that it could be in Palm Beach or Miami as effective as it is in New York. You'd have to give up all those institutions. And I don't know what it would become, but it wouldn't become Wall Street. I don't know what Wall Street would do if you have a socialist dash. Basically, when he says he wants to seize the means of production, and he said that, then it's not a slur to say that he's a communist. That comes right out of Frederick Engels' vocabulary. So I'm very worried, and he hates talent. He wants to get rid. He's back and forth, but like anything that's elite, anything that represents anything other than a quality of result, he's against. And he's also, to be frank, he represents something that's broken down in the immigration system, where we used to acculturate, integrate, assimilate immigrants from places less prosperous, secure than the United States. But there's this pattern where he and his family have come from Uganda, which is basically a failed place, and then they've done spectacularly well. His father's an endowed professor. His mother is a very well-known filmmaker. He grew up in affluence, but he has the same idea of AOC, or now the multimillionaire Ilhan Omar, that you come to this country and you immediately start to say, I'm not going to enrich it with my literature or music or fashion or food. I want to change fundamentally the way it works, the Constitution or protocols of 250 years, without any acknowledgement that I wouldn't come here if I was able to change it. Then I would have never come, because it would represent what I left. And that's what a lot of Americans are very confused about. Why would people come over here and want to change the system that attracted them in the first place?
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.